Are you planning on partying a lot this New Year's Eve? Let's discuss drinking and how to best recover from a hangover. First, here's 3 tips for the actual party. 1. Have a soda water with lime in between alcoholic beverages. When there's a high social expectation to drink, this is a way to feel like you're fitting in. You keep a drink in hand when you're actually hydrating. Second, keep in mind the true definition of an alcoholic beverage, because I bet your concept differs from the definition a doctor uses. See the link below for our video on safe drinking. Third, please do not buy into any quick sober up myths. Only time gets you sober, so it's totally worth a few extra bucks to take a taxi or rideshare to make sure everyone gets home safely. Public service announcements aside, let's get on to why do you feel so terrible after a heavy night of drinking? So why do hangovers occur? Well, first, because alcohol blocks the kidney's ability to prevent dehydration, leading to the loss of water and electrolytes. So much so that 4 drinks will lead to the loss of a liter of fluid over the next hours. Alcohol also causes a lot of ill effects on the GI tract. It promotes increased production of stomach acid, pancreatic enzyme secretion, as well as intestinal fluids. And yet against that, it slows down the emptying of the stomach. And that's a really ill feeling because you're producing all of this increased acid and you're going to feel like you're regurgitating last night's meals because you are. Aside from alcohol being directly toxic to the liver, it depletes sugar stores and increases production of lactic acidosis, and all of that leads to decreased blood sugar levels. All this adds up to the ill feelings of a hangover. And so how do you get rid of them? Well, there's a lot of popular urban myths as well as folklore, so let's cover some. Whether it's pickle juice or pink Himalayan salt, people believe that repleting electrolytes is really fundamental to curing a hangover. And there is some truth in this based on what we discussed are the reasons that a hangover occurs. But the problem with these remedies is that 99% of what you're getting is just sodium, when in fact you need a great variety of electrolytes because when the kidney is pumping out water, it's losing a lot of electrolytes, magnesium, phosphorus, and as well as B vitamins. And all of that needs to be repleted, not just sodium. The Himalayas may be a magical place, but the reason that the pink sea salt is pink is simply because of trace elements. It's not really rich in a great variety of electrolytes beyond sodium. And so it's important that you look for a different source to get a wider variety. Electrolyte and B vitamin supplement packets can definitely help. However, concentrated forms of magnesium can promote diarrhea, and concentrated electrolytes tend to upset an already irritated stomach. Now, an IV banana bag can bypass a lot of those ill symptoms, but those are pretty difficult to come by. One of the best approaches to ensuring that you get all these electrolytes and B vitamins is to make sure that in the day before heavy drinking, you're eating an adequate amount of fruits and vegetables and that you can continue that through the next morning. Some people avoid going to sleep for a couple hours after they finish drinking, and this can be simple and effective if you're using that time to rehydrate. This could be a good time to have one of those electrolyte packets, but it's not a good time to have caffeine because you are going to want to get some restful sleep. Ice bath facials have been popularized by TikTok, and it can be effective because it triggers the mammalian diving reflex, which activates your parasympathetic system. Your sympathetic system is what you think of as fight or flight. Parasympathetic makes you calm, cool, and collected, and that can certainly be a relief when you're having all these symptoms of a hangover. However, that reflex is only going to last for about 20 minutes, and so while it provides some relief, it's not really a cure. Why is caffeine such a classic hangover cure? Alcohol causes your blood vessels to dilate, which contributes to a hangover headache. Caffeine has the opposite effect. It makes your blood vessels constrict, which relieves that headache. However, caffeine is itself a diuretic, so you don't want to overindulge, or else you'll be working against your goal to rehydrate. There's a myth that you should strictly avoid Tylenol after a heavy night of drinking, and that it'd be much safer to take an NSAID like ibuprofen. And I say that that's false. And here's why. First, you are able to metabolize Tylenol at the same time as alcohol, and that's because your liver uses 2 distinct processes to break down each substance. So as long as you're having adequate hydration and nutrition, your liver is up to the task. So what would I do? Hypothetically, I would take 2 extra strength Tylenol at the first sign that I was having a headache. I would then take 1 extra strength Tylenol a little later in the day, 6 or 8 hours later, and then perhaps 1 final dose. And that would take me to a total of 2 grams within the day, and that should generally be a safe dose as long as you're making sure that you're rehydrating and you're eating. And why do I not like NSAIDs such as ibuprofen? 2 big reasons. Your stomach lining is already irritated from alcohol, and so you're going to be adding fuel to a fire there when you take NSAIDs because they interfere with the way that the stomach protects itself from the acid that it produces. Second, NSAIDs alter how your kidneys filter your blood, and this can be especially dangerous when you're dehydrated and risks a severe kidney injury. To conclude, stay hydrated, eat well the day before and after any heavy drinking, and enjoy a cup of coffee. But most importantly, please stay safe this new year because that's the only way that this coming year is going to be your best yet.